Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to Our Issues Birmingham. Today's guest is my very longtime friend. I won't say old, although we're not getting any younger.
No, we're not.
The mayor of the city of Hoover, Frank BROCATO. Frank, thanks for being with us
Good
today.
morning.
Good morning
Thank
to
you.
you. So, when you walked in this morning, I looked at you and I said, how'd this happen?
Really?
So, we go back to grammar school days, then high school. Then for a while you were fire marshal at the city of Hoover. So, and now he's the mayor of the city of Hoover, which is what, the sixth largest city?
Sixth largest city, right.
How many, what's the population?
Almost 90,000.
That's a pretty good sized city. And Birmingham's getting smaller, Hoover's getting bigger.
Well, a little bit of that going on.
Yeah. So tell us how you ended up where you are and what gave you the idea that becoming mayor was a good one.
Well, you know, I worked for a great city for 42 years. I actually started off as a volunteer firefighter in Hoover, Alabama in 1973, and then the paramedic program came along, and I was Hoover's first paramedic on the fire department. I just loved the job. And I spent the next 42 years there and rose through the ranks and retired as the operations chief and the fire marshal. But you know, all along those years, I knew that one day I wanted to run for the mayor. I just felt a real calling to do that, an inspiration to do it, and I felt like I had the qualifications and the personality to run our city, because I loved our city and I loved and learned and knew how to be a good servant. And so when I retired, I knew at that point that I was going to run the next year for the mayor. And in God's timing, it all worked out perfectly, in my opinion, the way the election turned out, and just the timing of it. So we worked hard and went out and had a great message, I believe, for our citizens. And one of the things that we talked hard about was supporting our school system, and we did that and have done that. And I think it resonated with our citizens, and I'm sitting here today and I'm really appreciative of that.
When you were in those preliminary years as fire marshal, were you attending as a department head or something along those lines of city meetings, city council meetings?
Sure, yeah. See, that I said all along, even when I was running, if you're a police officer or a firefighter and you started at the ground level and you rose up through the ranks, you really understand city government and you understand your city probably better than anyone, because everything goes through public safety. I don't care what it is. At some point, we touch it. So yes, I was very involved in any type of development that took place. Of course, any type of emergency situations that occurred in the city, I was there as part of a team. And so you just learn so many things from how to respond in emergencies to safety issues to dealing with people, budgets, everything really across the board.
So don't you think it's an important factor, something that we might be lacking on a national level, not that I'm giving away my politics, that a person running for public office should have at least spent some time in a public servant capacity before rising to the level of leadership? Do you think it's like a on-the-job training kind of experience?
Well, I think that, I don't think it's absolutely necessary, because that would disqualify a lot of folks, and that would mean that you would have to essentially come up through a route that I took. But I think it's important that that folks that want to be in a leadership position, in an elected position, there are opportunities in your local government, your zoning boards, for instance. You can get involved, volunteering, things like that, to kind of understand the operation. But I think leadership skills don't necessarily leadership skills that aren't developed in the public sector. That's not the only qualification. You certainly can develop those leadership skills outside the public sector.
So you could take business skills and just transfer them.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, you are in fact running a business.
A huge business. That's correct. We're probably the second or third largest business in the city right now. So yes, you do have to have that type of mind, but really the most important thing that I have seen is to make sure that you surround yourself with very good people, and that's what I've done. I don't know everything, So I've managed to put excellent people in positions that know a lot about different subjects, and they're propelling our city forward.
And do you have good work? You have good working relationships with them,
With my staff.
with your staff, with your fellow council members.
Absolutely, that's very important. You have to get along with the with your council, and certainly we have disagreements on things because you've got 7 councilmen and 1 mayor. There are 8 people there. We're going to have sometimes 8 different opinions, but we all know that we want to work towards a common goal. And I have not seen yet that, regardless of how we felt about the issue, that we all didn't want to get to that very common goal and what's the best thing for our city at the end of the day.
So you have 8?
Well, there's 7 council and myself as the mayor, so that's 8.
Do you end up 4-4 every now and then?
No, I don't get a vote. It's the council handles all of that.
All right, hold that thought. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Okay.
This is Our Issues Birmingham. I'm Tommy Spina. Don't go away.